one day of this anime being out, and while it's trending, we may as well talk about it here. So yeah, do I think it was worth the hype? Yes. I was excited for this anime, and it lived up to my expectations. And I like the fact that it's accurate to the games, and the fact that it teased that we're getting a season 2. I'm not going to say what happens. Bro, this is going to be fucking awesome for an anime. And if you've seen the old one, you guys already know that there's a clip to where we get to see a strawberry sundae, and that's a good callback to the rest of the anime. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, the voice acting cast was so well done. And I'm a and like what I said in All Things Nerdy episode 12, this may be the only time that we might hear Kevin Conroy in an anime, which is going to be sad to see, but hey, he cooked. And as for Johnny Young Bosch, like before the anime came out, there were some other Devil May Cry fans making jokes saying that Nero is cosplaying his uncle and Nero's voice got stolen. And I was like, as long as he sounds accurate to who the original voice is, I might butcher his name, Ruben Langdon, I think it is. He sounds accurate to him, and that is all I could ever ask for. And of course, with Virgil, he's not around throughout the rest of the anime, so don't get your hopes up when you see him. But for what we had, the character development is just wow. Like, it touched some heartstrings, bro. And if emotional backstories can touch your heartstrings a bit, that's how you know it is good. And when it comes to the anime itself, the fight scenes is like really well animated, and the soundtrack is just wow, it is a banger. And Evanescence with Afterlife, like that's a banger song. I would recommend you guys listen to that. And I'm not gonna lie, this was worth the hype. And I'm excited for season 2. And the fact that we ended up having different characters the whole time, like, that's just crazy, dude. Like, I am at a loss for words on how good this anime is. Is it 10 out of 10 good? Pretty close. It's a 9 out of 10 good. Because I do think it was a pretty good anime, and it's on par with Cyberpunk Edgerunners on being the best video game anime in my opinion. And other ones that I've watched, and the other anime that I've watched that's a video game anime is Danganronpa the animation, but we're talking about the Devil May Cry anime here. And of course, like with the first teaser clip that we saw, that's Dante's character intro. And I'm not gonna lie, that is such a creative decision to make. Because it's such a badass way to introduce the protagonist. And of course, with the Americans being in there, like, of course, there was no surprises that there was going to be religion in some way, shape, or form. But, hey, what else can you do? And of course, there are times where they make good decisions, but at the same time, there are times where they would make stupid decisions. And if there's like a flaw in there, that's how you know they are not a Mary Sue. Because I know that pretty much anybody, when it comes to video games, shows, or movies, that is a Mary Sue is not going to have a big amount of fans. So, yeah. And Rey Palpatine from the Star Wars sequels is a good example in this case. And speaking of, you guys know that I have a Force Awakens poster in the background because that is the only good movie from the sequel. Nevertheless, with how I feel about the season, the character development for everybody was so well done. Like, with Dante, what I give points on for his character intro is that we get to see what his life is like as a demon hunter, and the fact that he learned that he's part human, part demon, that is insane. Like, he didn't know about it, and he made jokes saying that he's a superhero. And I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like something that I would have done as well if I had supernatural abilities. And, of course, the White Rabbit. I honestly think he was a good villain, but Virgil will remain as the best villain. And, of course, the character development for him, man, that is just... It sucks that he had to go through that as a kid. And as an adult, we learn how he became the White Rabbit. Which I honestly find that really creative. Like, that is such a good way to make a villain. And as an example with Ryder Uchi, why he was a villain is because he was manipulated by the antagonist of Legend of the Night Stars to do the Dark Realm's dirty work. And I'm not going to get into too much details because I would be spoiling details of Legend of the Night Stars. Nevertheless, with Lady, she hasn't been able to spend too much time with her father, so I can make the joke saying he went to get the milk but didn't come back. You guys know I had to reference the meme at least once. Nevertheless, with other characters that we've gotten introduced to, I didn't know that other demon hunters can exist, but with characters that we pretty much build like a relationship, like whether if we hate them or love them, like when it comes to the characters that we love, it just, man, that was just, it is such an emotional scene to watch, bro. Especially in episode 8. And who knows what other stuff we may end up getting later down the line in the Devil May Cry anime when it comes to a potential season 2. And from the All Things Nerdy podcast, I predicted that it might win best adaptation for 2025, but I feel like that there may be something better than this anime coming later this year, but I would be happy to see it as a nomination if it ends up happening. But is it something that I would vote for? For right now, I want to wait until we have more good video game adaptations to say my full-on opinion. For example, from 2 years ago, I enjoyed the Super Mario movie, and I voted for that even, and Last of Us won, and then a year later, I was like, I can see why this won Best Video Game Adaptation. And from last year, I voted for Fallout, even though I haven't watched it, and it won. And again, I'm just bringing up examples here. And I'm not gonna lie, I honestly expected it to be based off of Devil May Cry 3. I haven't fully watched... Well, let me rephrase. I haven't fully played Devil May Cry 3, so I can't really say anything about it. But I appreciate the fact that it's based off of early days Dante. And if this is one of those animes, like with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, to where it takes place before the game, then I feel like that the Devil May Cry lore is going pretty good. And I do want to get back into playing Devil May Cry on my gaming channel at some point. I've just been busy with other stuff, like with with the writing of the Mirrorgate universe, other games that I'm in the process on playing, like Batman Arkham Knight, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and Danganronpa. So yeah, that is pretty much all that I would like to get out of the way. I know that I pretty much went on yap mode because there was some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but the main topic is the Devil May Cry anime, and now you guys already know my review for what I give this anime. I give, on a scale of 1 to 10, it is a 9.5 out of 10. And as for how many stars it is easily 5 stars. And as for a percentage, I'm going to give this a 90% because I feel like that other parts of like the narrative could have been done a little bit better, but I appreciate what they did, and I'm happy to say that it is accurate to the games. Is it better than the old anime? I have not seen the old one, so I will let you guys be the judge of that. So yeah. Now that I gave my opinions out of the way, what is your opinions on the 2025 Devil May Cry anime that is on Netflix? So yeah. Once again, thank you for hearing me out for what I would like to say on my takes on the Devil May Cry anime. And of course, when it goes on the platform My Anime List, it's gonna be displayed as 9 out of 10 for when I put it in My Anime List, because of the fact that we can't do halves, and if we could give it and if there's like a specific anime that we could give an 11 out of 10, I would. But 10 is as far as we go. So, yeah, once again, I enjoyed the anime, and I'm happy to say it is worth the. I'm happy to say that the anime is worth the hype, and happy to say that it is accurate to the games.